like, this is just gonna be a random ass video, but like, I kind of wanted to talk about relationships and why, me personally speaking, I really don't see myself getting into a relationship anytime soon, in the near to distant future, honestly speaking. Because one, I'm really antisocial, personally speaking. I really like being alone, and I would say that I'm a pretty caring person. Like, my only fear in a relationship is that, like, I would have an internal struggle between me wanting to be alone, my antisocial personality, my nature basically. It's like, it would be basically the internal struggle for me, nature versus nurture. Because I would want to nurture the woman and I would want to really care for the woman, but there's always going to be a part of me that's just like, I just want to be alone, honestly. Like, I just, like, I just feel like in a relationship, like, at first I would like really, I would really like try to find a healthy balance, and then I would like, the relationship would end up like slowly declining and then ending. I'm saying like a billion times, but like, I feel like I would just get so sidetracked by being me that, like, I don't know, man. I feel like I would just lose myself in a relationship. Like, that's the main reason I don't see myself ever really pursuing one. Like, I mean, I could, but it just feels like at this stage in my life, it's probably better. And I don't even have a job yet, so I feel like I should definitely at least have some sort of um, financial support in place if I ever was to get into a relationship in the first place. It's like, there's just so many things that go into a relationship. I just don't see how people in the 21st century just like jump head first into relationships. Me personally speaking, like, I could never just head first jump into a relationship. Like, I don't see how people do that, bro. Like, it's just so ridiculous to me. Like, you don't think about, one, their personality. Like, you don't see that this person's obviously toxic as fuck. Like, it's like, people just amaze me. Like, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, obviously. I'm sure if a girl was attractive enough and she had a super bad personality, like she was doing reckless shit, I probably would. I'm the sort of person, like, honestly, if a reckless girl like tried to get me to do some reckless shit and she really liked me and I really liked her, like, I feel like I would be prone to manipulation in a relationship, honestly. Like, that's one of the main reasons I wouldn't want to get to. Like, I wouldn't be a simp though. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just someone who, like, I don't know, push far enough. I don't really give a fuck about a lot of shit, honestly. Like, it's just one of the main reasons I would never want to get into it. It's like, the person's person. Like, people today just don't take into account, one, the person's personality, their financial situation, their family situation, um, whether they have children, whether they have any sort of health care in case they get into an accident. Like, there's a billion things that go into a relationship. It's not as simple as just. I feel like people today make relationships like just so simple. Like, well, dude, why have you got? Why don't you just get a girlfriend? Like, like, I don't know. Like, it's just, people make it seem so like nonchalant. Like, getting into a relationship is like the easiest thing to do or the most logical thing to do, when it's most of the time it's not. Like, me personally speaking, in my opinion, like, relationships are like, you're like a beaver, right? And you could fall off a cliff. Like, let's say there's a 50-50 chance that, like, if you fall off the cliff, you land into a world that's filled with endless amounts of food, whatever the fuck you want, whatever you could have ever wanted in your entire life sits at the bottom of that cliff. But there's another 50% chance that you just land in the water and die. Like, that's what relationships are to me, personally speaking. It's like, yes, if you make concessions, if you do this and that, and You really try to take the person's feelings into account. You really do your best to just, you know, try to be the try to be the best person you can be in the relationship, while also trying to push the other person to be the best person they can be. That would be the ideal relationship, right? Where you guys both make compromises, you guys both listen to each other's opinions, you guys both give each other enough time to be alone and do their own thing. That would be the ideal relationship, right? It's so hard to find that today, and it's much easier said than done. It's like, you know, that's my main reason for not wanting to get into one. You know, and yeah, and their family could be fucking crazy as well. That's one thing. That's a lot. That's one thing a lot of people don't take into consideration when getting into a relationship nowadays. Like, they really don't consider the other person's family at all. Like, you have to consider the other person's family, bro, because some people's families are fucking crazy. Like I don't know. You just have to consider a lot. Like, I feel like today's society, especially in America, is so nonchalant about dating. Like, people just, like, if you haven't dated anyone for like 5 years and you've had friends for like 5 years or plus, they're like, well, why haven't you gotten into a relationship? Like, do you want me to set you up on some dates? Like, no, I don't need that, bro. Like, no, I could easily get into a relationship. Any human being that has a literal pulse can get into a relationship, bro. Like, I don't know why we pretend in society like it's the hardest thing to do, or you have to be like a 10 out of 10 on attractive. Like, you don't, bro. I mean, to get into I mean, if you're dating a super attractive person, they're more likely to, obviously all that, people already know that shit. But, like, of course. But, like, to get any, or just to get into a relationship, anyone can just get into a relationship. Like, if you literally have a pulse, my nigga, there will be a woman that will like you, bro. Like, it's impossible not to be able to get into one. It's just whether or not personally you want to get into one. I feel like more than anything. Like, I don't know how anyone can really be an incel. Like, bro, anyone can get a girlfriend, bro. Like, I'm telling you. I don't know why people make it seem like it's just impossible or some shit. It's either one or the other extreme with most people. Like, they're either super against relationships, or they're like, I want to get into a relationship every week or something. Like, I don't know. I'm more so in the middle. Like, maybe most people are in the middle, actually. I'm probably being unfair. Most people are probably like me and standoffish, but yeah. I just randomly made this video, so if I look a little wild, it is what it is. But yeah. Yeah, those are my main reasons, pretty much.